Let me ask you something straight. Have you ever been around a woman thinking there's a connection only to realize later that she just wasn't interested? Maybe she laughed at your jokes, responded to your texts, or even hugged you, but something felt off. Here's the hard truth most men avoid. Women will give signals if they aren't attracted, and ignoring them wastes your time and energy. Understanding these signs isn't about being cynical. It's about being aware and protecting your confidence. In modern dating, many men misread signals. A woman might be polite, friendly, or even affectionate without being genuinely interested. The problem is that men often interpret basic friendliness as romantic interest, which leads to frustration, confusion, and wasted effort. High V value men learn to spot the difference early. Recognizing disinterest allows you to move on gracefully, save energy, and focus on women who actually want to be with you. Female psychology is surprisingly consistent. When a woman isn't attracted to a man, her body language, communication patterns, and even her energy will reflect it. These signals aren't always obvious at first glance because women often mask their lack of interest with politeness or friendliness to avoid confrontation. But subtle cues, small gestures, tone of voice, eye contact, or lack thereof will betray her true feelings if you know what to look for. This video will break down 7 key behaviors a woman exhibits when she isn't interested, so you can read her signals clearly. From dismissive communication to body language that keeps you at a distance, each sign tells a story about her feelings before she ever says a word. Understanding these patterns gives you clarity, confidence, and control in dating situations. The goal here isn't to overanalyze or play games. It's to see reality clearly and act accordingly. When you recognize disinterest, you avoid wasting emotional energy, maintain your self-respect, and position yourself to attract women who genuinely value your presence. Knowing the 7 behaviors of disinterest is like having a roadmap. It saves you from frustration, awkwardness, and rejection that feels personal. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot when a woman isn't into you, so you can protect your confidence and focus on women who are genuinely drawn to you. Don't guess. Learn to read the signals clearly and act like the man who knows his worth. Before I commence, make sure to click the subscribe and like button and let's go. 1. She avoids eye contact. One of the clearest signs a woman isn't interested in you is avoiding eye contact. This might seem subtle at first, but it's a strong subconscious signal. Eye contact is a key tool for building connection, attraction, and trust. When a woman is genuinely interested, she will naturally make eye contact to engage with you, show attentiveness, and even create subtle intimacy. If she consistently looks away, glances around the room, or focuses on her phone during your interaction, it's a red flag. Avoiding eye contact often goes hand in hand with a lack of emotional investment. Women unconsciously use eye contact to test whether a man is confident, present, and worthy of attention. If she refuses that engagement, it's a signal that she's not emotionally or romantically invested in you. Some men misread this as shyness or mystery, but repeated avoidance is usually not about being coy. It's about disinterest. Notice the quality and duration of her eye contact. A brief glance followed by a quick look away is normal in casual social settings, but consistent. Repeated avoidance tells a different story. For example, if you're sharing a story or joking and she barely looks at you or seems distracted, it's likely she's not connecting with you on a deeper level. This lack of attention is a subtle but powerful way she communicates. I'm not invested here. Another variation is when she looks at everything else but you. She might watch other people, check her phone repeatedly, or scan the room instead of engaging. These micro behaviors indicate that her attention is elsewhere and your presence doesn't hold significance for her. Women are wired to notice energy and presence. If she isn't showing interest through eye contact, she's also not emotionally or physically invested. High V value men notice this immediately. Eye contact is a key tool for assessing interest because it's involuntary and difficult to fake consistently. A polite smile without sustained eye contact can't make up for the subconscious signals her eyes are giving. If you catch this early, it saves you from chasing a connection that isn't there. It's also important to pair eye contact observation with other signals. A single instance of avoiding eye contact doesn't always mean disinterest, but when combined with other behaviors, short answers, closed body language, or distancing gestures, it becomes a clear pattern. Women rarely display consistent avoidance unless their interest is low or non-existent. Recognizing this early allows you to adjust your energy and expectations. Instead of overinvesting emotionally, you can maintain your frame. Focus on women who are genuinely interested and avoid frustration. Eye contact is one of the first filters in female psychology. It tells you quickly whether you're being evaluated as desirable or simply tolerated. By paying attention to this subtle but powerful sign, you can save yourself time, energy, and emotional investment while focusing on interactions where attraction is mutual. High V value men read the eyes first. They never ignore this fundamental signal. 2. She gives short or dismissive answers. Another unmistakable sign a woman isn't interested is the way she communicates. When she gives short, dismissive, or one-word answers, it signals she isn't invested in the conversation or in building a connection with you. Women who are genuinely attracted to a man engage actively. They ask questions, laugh, respond thoughtfully, and show curiosity about your life. A lack of engagement is a clear red flag. Pay attention to the energy behind her words. If she responds with, yeah, okay, or sure, without elaboration, it usually indicates disinterest. She isn't trying to keep the conversation going and her energy is minimal. Men often mistake this for shyness or busyness, but consistently brief responses almost always mean her mind is elsewhere or she simply doesn't care to invest. Timing and consistency matter. A single short answer occasionally is normal, but if it's a repeated pattern throughout your interaction, it becomes a clear signal. She may also respond with delayed messages if you're texting, showing a lack of priority or urgency. Women who are genuinely interested tend to match your energy and respond in a timely, engaged way. Disinterest often comes with detachment in both in-person and digital communication. Tone is another key factor. Even if her words are polite, her tone can reveal her true feelings. A flat, bored, or monotonous tone paired with minimal engagement communicates disinterest far more effectively than words alone. Women often unconsciously signal their lack of attraction through subtle vocal cues, which men can pick up if they are paying attention. A high-value man notices not just what is said, but how it's said. Short answers, lack of follow-up questions, and minimal emotional expression indicate she's not invested. This doesn't mean she dislikes you personally. Sometimes she's polite or neutral, but it does mean she isn't interested in pursuing something deeper. Recognizing this early prevents you from wasting time chasing a connection that isn't mutual. Context is also important. If she's in a group setting and interacts normally with others, but gives you short responses, the message is clear. She's not prioritizing you specifically. Women naturally direct their energy toward those they are attracted to. So, when she gives minimal effort toward you, it's a sign that interest is low or absent. Short, dismissive answers are often paired with other disinterest behaviors like avoiding eye contact, closed body language, or constant distractions. Together, these patterns form a consistent signal that she isn't invested in you. High V value men recognize these behaviors and maintain their frame instead of overcompensating, saving emotional energy, and keeping options open. Ultimately, paying attention to how a woman communicates beyond just her words gives you an early indicator of attraction or lack thereof. Short, dismissive responses are one of the clearest signs that she isn't interested, and learning to spot this allows you to act confidently, maintain your value, and focus on women who truly want your attention. 3. She avoids physical contact. Physical touch is a subtle but powerful indicator of attraction. When a woman is interested, she will naturally engage in small, meaningful touches like brushing your arm, leaning in, or playful nudges. Conversely, a woman who avoids physical contact is signaling a lack of interest. This avoidance is often subconscious. She isn't trying to be mean, but her body language reflects her true feelings. Notice how she positions herself around you. If she consistently creates physical distance, steps back when you lean in, or crosses her arms to close herself off, it's a clear red flag. Women who are attracted will often find excuses to reduce distance, maintain subtle contact, or mirror your movements. A consistent pattern of avoidance indicates she's not open to intimacy or connection. Pay attention to casual gestures as well. For example, if you hug or touch her lightly on the shoulder and she stiffens, pulls away, or only gives minimal response, it's a sign of disinterest of. Similarly, playful touches or accidental brushes are often used to test comfort levels. If she consistently avoids even light, non-intrusive contact, she's likely not interested. Another common indicator is her response in social settings. If she's comfortable with other people touching her, friends, family, or colleagues, but avoids any contact with you, it's a strong signal that her lack of interest is personal and not a general discomfort with touch. Women naturally direct physical openness toward men they find attractive. Avoidance in this context is telling. High V value men understand that physical signals often communicate desire more clearly than words. A lack of touch isn't something you want to ignore or rationalize away. If a woman consistently avoids contact, it's better to acknowledge the reality rather than invest energy trying to overcome an unspoken barrier. It's also important to note the subtle micro signals of avoidance. For instance, if she positions herself at an angle, keeps her hands occupied, or subtly shifts her body away from you during conversation. These are all nonverbal ways of creating distance. Women do this unconsciously when they aren't attracted, and it's a reliable indicator for men who pay attention to detail. Recognizing avoidance of physical contact early allows you to save emotional energy and maintain self-respect rather than overcompensating with excessive attention or trying to force closeness. A high-value man reads these cues, adjusts his energy, and focuses on women who naturally reciprocate interest. Physical avoidance, when combined with other disinterest signs like minimal eye contact or short dismissive responses, forms a clear pattern. These women are signaling that they don't feel a romantic or sexual connection. Understanding this prevents confusion, frustration, and wasted time while allowing you to prioritize interactions where attraction is mutual. Learning to read and respect these physical cues is essential in modern dating. High V value men notice avoidance early, maintain confidence, and act accordingly, creating space for women who are genuinely interested to gravitate toward them. 4. She rarely initiates contact. Another major red flag that a woman isn't interested is her unwillingness to initiate communication. In modern dating, interest isn't just about responding, it's also about effort. If she never texts first, rarely calls, or avoids reaching out to make plans, it's a clear sign she's not invested in pursuing anything with you. Women who are attracted will often find subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways to engage with a man they like. A lack of initiation indicates her focus and energy lie elsewhere. Notice patterns in her messaging habits. Does she respond only when you reach out? Are her responses minimal, delayed, or devoid of warmth? If she's consistently reactive rather than proactive, she is signaling low interest. High V value men understand that attraction is mutual. Someone genuinely interested will make an effort, even small, to stay connected. Ignoring this pattern often leads to frustration and chasing someone who isn't emotionally available. It's also important to consider planning and social effort. If you're the one constantly suggesting meetups, arranging dates, or initiating physical interactions while she rarely reciprocates, this imbalance is telling. Women subconsciously demonstrate desire through effort and engagement. When she avoids contributing, it indicates a lack of romantic interest. Politeness or friendliness may mask it temporarily, but repeated inaction cannot hide disinterest. Subtle digital cues reinforce this behavior. A woman who is interested often engages with your social media, comments on posts, or reacts to messages in ways that show attention and investment. When she ignores these opportunities to connect, it shows that her attention and focus are elsewhere. In contrast, disinterested women respond minimally, if at all, signaling that building a connection with you is not a priority. Energy also matters. When you do initiate, observe her enthusiasm or lack thereof. Flat, obligatory responses paired with minimal engagement indicate her emotional energy is not aligned with yours. Women naturally gravitate toward men they find attractive and are willing to invest energy in pursuing. Lack of initiation combined with low engagement is a pattern that should not be ignored. High V value you men recognize that attraction requires mutual effort. They don't overanalyze or try to manufacture interest where none exists. Instead, they notice the signs early and redirect their attention to women who actively demonstrate desire. Chasing someone who never initiates communication leads to frustration and diminished self-respect. Understanding this behavior allows you to save time, maintain confidence, and avoid emotional drain. By recognizing when a woman is disinterested in initiating contact, you can make a clear decision. Either step back gracefully or stop investing energy where it's not reciprocated. This clarity is essential in modern dating, where subtle cues often reveal more than words ever could. Initiation, or the lack thereof, is a consistent, observable signal of attraction. When paired with eye contact avoidance, dismissive communication, and avoidance of physical touch, it paints a clear picture. She is not interested. Recognizing this early allows you to protect your energy, maintain your frame, and focus on women who actively want to be with you. 5. She keeps conversations superficial. One of the most telling signs a woman isn't interested is when she avoids depth in conversations. Women who are genuinely attracted will engage emotionally, ask personal questions, and show curiosity about your life, thoughts, and feelings. Disinterested women, on the other hand, keep things surface level. They stick to small talk, avoid sharing personal details, and rarely ask questions that show investment in you as a person. Pay attention to the topic she chooses. Does she quickly steer conversations toward generic subjects like the weather, work, or random events without ever delving deeper? This avoidance is a classic signal of disinterest. She's keeping distance emotionally, which is often mirrored in her lack of romantic or sexual engagement. A woman who truly wants to connect will naturally test the waters of emotional intimacy. If she doesn't, it's likely she's not interested. The energy behind the conversation is just as important as the content. If her tone is flat, indifferent, or distracted, it reinforces her lack of engagement. High V value men notice these subtle cues. Disinterest isn't always about words, but about emotional presence. When someone isn't invested, their attention drifts, their reactions are minimal, and their energy doesn't match yours. Over time, these patterns are unmistakable. Body language also plays a role during superficial interactions. A woman who leans away, crosses her arms, or avoids eye contact while giving minimal responses is signaling a lack of connection. These physical cues reinforce the verbal ones and show that her interest level is low. Women naturally mirror interest through openness. Lack of it is a strong red flag. Another sign is her avoidance of personal storytelling or vulnerability. If she never shares experiences, feelings, or opinions that reveal who she is, it's because she isn't emotionally invested in creating a bond with you. Attraction often motivates women to subtly open up, even in small ways, to create intimacy. Avoidance of this shows clear disinterest. High V value men recognize the importance of emotional signals in dating. A woman who keeps conversations shallow isn't just being polite, she's subconsciously maintaining distance. Understanding this prevents wasted effort and emotional energy. You don't need to push her to open up. Her willingness to engage voluntarily is what signals genuine interest. Context matters too. If she engages deeply with other people but avoids doing the same with you, it's a personal indicator that her attention and interest are elsewhere. Women naturally invest emotionally where they feel attraction. Avoidance of meaningful interaction is a deliberate signal that she doesn't feel that with you. Recognizing this early saves frustration and preserves confidence. High-value men don't chase shallow engagement. They seek women who actively reciprocate energy, curiosity, and emotional investment. Superficial conversation is a pattern, not a one-off occurrence. And when combined with other signs like avoidance of eye contact or minimal initiation, it confirms a lack of interest. By noticing these patterns, you can redirect your attention to women who are truly drawn to you rather than wasting time on those who aren't willing to engage meaningfully. 6. She avoids making future plans. Another clear sign that a woman isn't interested is when she avoids talking about or committing to future plans with you. Women who are genuinely attracted will naturally explore opportunities to see you again, suggest activities, or express curiosity about spending more time together. Disinterested women, however, rarely offer plans, respond vaguely to invitations, or continuously defer scheduling, signaling a lack of investment in building a connection. Notice how she reacts when you propose a meetup. Does she give non-committal answers like maybe, we'll see, or I'll let you know? While life can be busy, Repeated vagueness or constant cancellations is a pattern, not a one-off. It's a subtle but powerful way she communicates. She doesn't prioritize spending time with you. High V value men pick up on this immediately. They understand that effort and enthusiasm are reliable indicators of genuine interest. Even casual conversations about the future can reveal a lot. If she avoids discussing upcoming events, trips, or social gatherings with you, it shows she isn't imagining a scenario that includes you. Women who are interested naturally integrate potential time with a man into their mental picture of the near future. Avoidance here signals emotional and romantic detachment. Context matters as well. If she readily makes plans with friends, colleagues, or other acquaintances, but is consistently evasive when it comes to spending time with you, the message is unmistakable. She isn't interested in prioritizing you. Women subconsciously signal attraction through planning and effort, and avoidance is a strong signal in the opposite direction. Her energy during conversations about plans is just as important as her words. A flat, indifferent, or distracted response indicates lack of investment. High V value men pay attention to both content and energy. If she's enthusiastic elsewhere but disengaged with you, it reinforces disinterest. Another subtle indicator is her use of vague timelines. If she says, "Let's hang out sometime," without ever specifying a day or suggesting an alternative, it's often a polite way of declining without confrontation. Women who are genuinely interested will usually offer specifics or at least show willingness to coordinate. Persistent vagueness signals low attraction. Recognizing this behavior early allows you to protect your time and emotional energy. Chasing someone who avoids future planning creates frustration and lowers self-respect. High V value men understand that mutual effort is the foundation of attraction, and a lack of willingness to plan or engage consistently is a clear boundary to acknowledge. Finally, combining this signal with others, short answers, avoidance of eye contact, superficial conversations, and minimal physical touch paints a clear picture of disinterest. Patterns are more important than isolated incidents. Observing avoidance of future planning ensures you don't misread politeness or friendliness as genuine romantic interest. Understanding this allows you to redirect your attention toward women who are excited to spend time with you rather than investing in someone who isn't willing to meet you halfway. Recognizing this behavior early is a sign of confidence and awareness, qualities women subconsciously respect. 7. She rarely compliments or shows appreciation. One of the most subtle yet telling signs a woman isn't interested is her lack of compliments or genuine appreciation. Women who are attracted naturally express admiration even in small ways. They notice your efforts, appearance, or personality and acknowledge it. Disinterested women, on the other hand, rarely give positive reinforcement, rarely comment on what you do, and often make interactions feel transactional or neutral. Notice how she responds to your efforts. If you dress well, make a joke, or put thought into something for her, does she acknowledge it? A simple "you look good" or "that was funny" may seem minor, but these micro compliments are important indicators of attraction. Women subconsciously signal desire and engagement through praise and appreciation. Consistent lack of acknowledgement is a red flag that she doesn't feel drawn to you. Even in conversations, her responses can reveal her level of interest. Disinterested women may respond politely but without warmth, leaving the interaction feeling flat. She may nod, say cool, or move on without showing curiosity or admiration. This absence of positive reinforcement indicates her emotional energy isn't invested in connecting with you. High V value men notice this energy gap. It's a clear signal that attraction isn't reciprocated. Context adds clarity. If she gives compliments or shows appreciation to friends, colleagues, or even strangers, but consistently withholds them from you, it's not about shyness. It's about selective engagement. Attraction motivates women to express positive feedback toward men they like. Avoidance of this behavior toward you indicates a lack of romantic interest. Tone and timing also matter. Genuine compliments are often spontaneous, showing authentic attention. If she avoids these moments entirely, it reflects her mental and emotional distance. She's not creating moments of connection because subconsciously she doesn't feel invested in doing so. High V value men recognize that attraction is visible through small, consistent cues like these, not just grand gestures. Additionally, appreciation isn't just about words. A woman who is attracted will express it through body language and engagement, such as smiling, leaning in, or mirroring your energy during interaction. If her body remains closed, distant, or unresponsive despite your effort, it reinforces her lack of interest. Politeness may mask it, but subconscious signals rarely lie. Recognizing this pattern early saves emotional energy and prevents frustration. A woman who rarely compliments or shows appreciation is signaling that your effort isn't meaningful to her. High V value men focus on reciprocal energy. They invest where it's returned and they move on gracefully when it isn't. Finally, when you combine this with other signs, avoiding eye contact, dismissive responses, minimal physical touch, superficial conversation, lack of initiation, and avoidance of future plans, it forms a clear, undeniable picture of disinterest. Understanding and recognizing these 7 behaviors allows you to protect your confidence, maintain self-respect, and focus on women who genuinely value you rather than chasing attention from someone who isn't attracted. Understanding female psychology isn't about overthinking. It's about reading the signals clearly. If a woman avoids eye contact, gives short answers, avoids touch, rarely initiates contact, keeps conversation superficial, avoids future plans, or shows little appreciation, she's signaling disinterest. High V value men notice these patterns early, protecting their confidence and energy. Ignoring them only leads to frustration and wasted effort. The key is to respect the signs, maintain your self-worth, and focus on women who genuinely reciprocate your attention and energy. Recognize disinterest, act with confidence, and prioritize meaningful connections that truly matter.